Trail talk time. Out on this beauty of a trail. Gorgeous day out. Today I wanted to talk about sacred geometry. Sacred G. Sacred geometry is such an interesting topic. So let's get right into it. Everything in physical form, in physical existence, in this dimension, has a certain mathematical code to it. This is what's known as sacred geometry. Everything comes into form through a specific mathematical design or sequence. All of nature follows this design, from the trees, birds and the bees, to us as human beings. It's all part of this mathematical code. And it all stems from the flower of life. Even intangible things such as music, it all comes from this design. And it's so amazing. You can see it definitely more easily in certain things, such as a sunflower, for example. The way that the seeds spiral around from the middle, or a pine cone. The perfect way that it's shaped, to the phyllotaxic pattern in tree branches, the way that they spiral around, allowing for maximum sunlight. It's all part of this beautiful design. We even equate beauty to this divine ratio called the golden mean. In this ratio, we perceive beauty based off of its closeness to this ratio. Even the Mona Lisa, they've shown that perfect symmetry and ratio within the Mona Lisa's face, which is probably why it's one of the most sought after and revered paintings and pieces of art of all time. And as you look to all these great art pieces over the years, besides maybe of course Picasso and certain artists, but you will find this sacred mathematical design throughout. And really, it shows us that everything is connected. All is connected through this design. And the more that you learn about it and study it and immerse yourself into it, you start to feel and experience that connection with everything that much more deeply. They say even drawing it, especially, and creating with it, will definitely connect you to everything. And you'll be able to feel that no matter where you look, you will find this geometry. It's all around us, and it's within us. From that spiral on our fingertips, our fingerprints, to the double spiraling galaxies, it all follows this mathematical design. It's known as Fibonacci. the Fibonacci sequence, or phi. Phi being the ratio. It was discovered by Fibonacci, and it's truly incredible. It's truly incredible. It's such a basic design, and that's what's so special about it. It takes a small leap in growth, starting at something very random, and it continues to evolve, learning from itself, gathering more and more information from itself in order to continue to become more and more beautiful and closer to this divine ratio. And it never quite reaches it. It never quite gets there, but it continues to get closer and closer. So we can see that in a plant growing, for example. It starts off, it juts out from the seed, starting as something very basic, growing up its stem, growing leaves around, and eventually blossoming and blooming into something so beautiful, whatever it was meant to grow into. And so it starts off from this very rough, basic design, but continues to grow and come closer and closer to phi as it continues to grow. And we can now see the beauty of it evolving and growing, just as we as humans grow, starting from this basic form, this basic blob, and continuing to morph and evolve and become these beautiful bodies that we have. And of course, not everybody has the perfect symmetry in every part of their body. Some people's arms are longer than their height, for instance, their arm span. But on average, all people and all animals follow this sacred design. Squirrel playing. Now, we've all heard the term the Matrix. We know the movie The Matrix. Now, sacred geometry is that mathematical design that creates this physical matrix of the natural world. And so the more that we learn about it and see that connection in everything through this design, it's giving us the keys to exit the matrix, quote unquote. It's a funny paradox. But this matrix is not the only matrix. This natural design is what you might call the natural matrix. Then there is also a matrix created within the matrix, which we see as our societies we've built, this infrastructure we've built on the planet as human beings. So we could call that quote unquote unnatural, the unnatural matrix. And I think it's very important to get into your connection with this natural matrix as opposed to being stuck in the grind of the unnatural matrix, the man-made matrix. We get energized just being in nature, being in that flow and seeing all of this with our eyes, taking in this information, this light, from the sunlight to the sacred design that all of this nature is showing us. Connecting to that will help you to connect to that which is beyond the physical as well. So that's the funny paradox about it. So next time you're out, or wherever you are, stop and take a look and see that connection. See that and feel that beauty within everything. It truly is divine. So that's all I wanted to talk about today. Hope everyone has a blessed day. Peace and limitless love.